appreciate that they have this moment of like Padme being like, no, because like we need that. If you have someone mistreating someone else, you should have that person be like, no, these are the boundaries. You cross them. We're done. But they backtrack on it. Pretty sure that at the end of this arc, everything's hunky-dory.
Well, it would have to be.
It has to be!
Revenge of the Sith to happen.
Exactly. And so if anything, you turn a good lesson into something even worse.
Yeah.
Because now she's going back to somebody who mistreats her. And it's like, you know, she said no, but now she's going back on it. And it's like, this is not behavior we want kids to model.
Hey everyone, just a quick heads up, if you want to see the full version of this reaction, you can find it over on Patreon, link in the description. Over there we discuss things like when to withhold character motivations, Palpatine's possible motivations in this arc and how it may tie into the prequels. And we expound further on how unhealthy Anakin and Padme's relationship is portrayed. We also dive into Anakin's character in the prequels and see how it highlights the poor character writing in TCW. Thanks to our newest patron, it is great to have your support, and without further ado, let's get into it.
Jealousy is the path to chaos.
Leaving the banking clan in chaos.
So they're jealous.
Any future disruptions will be placed upon your shoulders, Nick Khan.
As you wish. I want it noted that you and you alone allowed this to happen.
I love how they're like, okay, any future disruptions will fall on your shoulders. And he's like, as you wish. And then 10 seconds later, he's like, I want it to be known that this is your fault and your fault alone. Peace out.
What about me?
You will be protected, I can assure you.
Wait, so why was Palpatine in league with both Nix and Embo? And Embo told him at the end of the last episode that the whatever was a success.
No, he told Enbo. Well, I guess technically Embo told him, and then he just repeated it back to Embo so the audience knew what Embo said. Kind of like they did in the Obi-Wan undercover arc.
It makes no sense, because what was a success? Why would he have to ask Nix? Did they escape with the information?
Clovis, the Senator and the Jedi are on their way.
With the information.
I
What
guess
was a
so that
success?
Nix wouldn't know that he was working with someone else? I know.
But this makes no sense.
TCW never makes sense.
Much distrust is focused upon you.
I understand, but I hope to right the wrongs that I have done.
What is his motivation? Why does he go from war profiteering, essentially, which, now that I realize it, Padme, when she was like, I've, revealed war profiteers before and nobody cared, she was looking at him.
I think they explain it later, like Scipio was his homeworld or something.
Oh, Luminara's just hanging out.
The opera was wonderful, but I'm glad we can get down to business.
If you look here...
Yeah, you've got Padme. And she's like, oh, I'm doing this for the Republic. Puts on her nice evening gown, lays out a fancy meal in her private residence. And, oh, now we can get down to business. It's like, what are you doing, Padme?
Well, I'll give the outfit a pass because, like, she just likes her fancy schmancy outfits. But like, yeah, this
we don't
whole
see her-
atmosphere is way too casual.
I guess for me, it's like what we've seen her wearing in this arc up to now, and what we typically see her wearing when she's like hanging out with Anakin, right? Like, this is a lot more showy. I mean, a girl can wear whatever she wants, but like, for me, it's like, if I was like, okay, I'm just in a business relationship. And she was just saying, oh, the opera was wonderful. So,
yeah, no, like, what the heck?
Did they go to the opera together?
Why?
Or she just, like, went to the opera and then she's like, we'll get to that afterward. Like,
what the heck?
It doesn't make any sense for them to go to the opera or even her to go to the opera. Like, doesn't make sense.
Another thing, like, getting back to her outfit here, there is kind of a factor, like, typically, if a woman feels uncomfortable around a man, she'll cover up more.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to be a man. It could be another.
Like, it's a psychological thing.
Yeah. If you feel uncomfortable with someone, you tend to put on layers, like it kind of feels like a shield. And especially if you feel uncomfortable with them because you know that they have an attraction towards you and you're just kind of like, I don't want your eyes on me. But yeah, the biggest, like, it makes, like, that is definitely an opera evening gown. Like, now that I remember that she just said that about the opera, that clothing choice makes sense for the opera. But why did they go to the opera?
And, like, why wouldn't she change into something else before
getting to work?
Yeah, getting down to business.
You got time to go to the opera, but you don't have time to get changed? What?
Okay.
This reminds me. When we had 3 nights to prepare for the Senate hearing to rescue Bromlark's planetary aqueduct system.
Did you go to the opera then, too?
We're not that old, either.
You might be right.
I want to thank you for everything you've done for me.
I appreciate that when he put his arm around her, she's like, you know. But now she goes up to him, oh, here, take my hands. La, 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 la. And it's kind of like, stick to your boundaries. You're a married woman.
It's that Jedi, isn't it?
General Skywalker, there is nothing romantic between he and I.
Then there is absolutely nothing to stop us from doing this.
Clovis!
Yes! Consent is a thing? What the hell? Oh, so you're not this other man's property, so you're free for me.
It's like...
He's literally objectifying her. Consent is a thing. She's a human being.
Like, there's just so many things. It's like... Okay, yeah, you crossed that man off the list. What if there's another? And it's like, even if there's not another, maybe she's just not into you anymore. Or maybe she's, you know, maybe it's not a man, maybe it's a woman, maybe
she's just not interested in a relationship, period.
That too. It's just kind of like, no, I'm just like doing my own thing right now. Thank you, no thank you.
Screw you.
Clovis, no.
Get away from her.
See, this? It's bad, but I'm not totally against it.
Both of you, stop this!
You don't have a say in this.
Oh.
What the heck?
I mean, like, I'm of the opinion that if a man is trying to force himself on a woman, he deserves to get punched several times. But
to say, you don't have a say in this.
I beg your pardon?
Yeah.
You are removing agency from me the same way he did.
Yeah.
Different context, but you're doing the same thing. I said no to him in, you know, behavior that directly affected me. And he was just like, you don't have a say in this. And now I'm saying no to you in behavior that directly affects me because you're attacking my guest in my home. And you're saying, oh, you don't have a say in this. Yes, I do.
I thought you said he didn't have feelings for you.
I said we were just friends. Like, maybe he has feelings for me, but like, as far as I know, like, we're just friends, right?
Also, like, is a friend not allowed to
beat the crap out of you for trying to take advantage of her?
Yeah, no, this is such clear objectification. So disgusting.
When I saw you about to kiss him.
And I regret that. But it was not what you thought.
You were about to kiss him. I beg your pardon? No. He was coming on. Instead, the first words out of her mouth are, and I regret that. But it's not what you thought. Rather than, he was forcing himself onto me. I am glad that you put a stop to that, but you took it way too far. And like, if you're worried that if you say, oh, he was forcing himself on me, that Anakin's gonna run upstairs and go do it all over again, then maybe just be like, no. But like, and I regret that. It sounds like she's saying, yeah, but I mean, I regret you seeing that.
Exactly. Like, what the heck? That's so misleading.
Yeah, and like, yeah, she says afterwards, but it's not what you, it's like, lead with that.
Yeah.
Like, especially when you, like, this person was literally about to force themselves on you, and you were yelling, no, 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 and now you're just like, oh, well, you know, I regret that, but it's not what you thought.
We live in secret, Anakin. Like it or not, our relationship is built on lies and deception. No relationship can survive that.
It just seems weird, because she's like, you know, this marriage won't work unless you trust me. And then she suddenly is like, well, it's not gonna work anyways because we're lying to everybody else. And if I can't tell people, oh no, I'm taken, I'm gonna keep having this problem.
What?
You know, people are just like, oh, okay, well, that leaves the door open for me.
Yeah, no, just go ahead and assume everyone's like Clovis, why don't you? Because that makes sense.
I think it's best if we don't see each other anymore. I'm sorry, Anakin.
I'm sorry too.
Yeah, like Padme, you push her too far, she knows to cut ties. And then now you have Anakin respecting that. We're like 2 minutes ago, you don't have a say in this. Does he respect her or not?
I guess you can explain it away because, like,
he's not in the heat of the moment.
Uncontrollable rage when he said those things, but like, what?
And I appreciate that they have this moment of like Padme being like, no, because like we need that, like, especially in a kids show. If you have someone mistreating someone else, you should have that person be like, no, these are the boundaries. You cross them. We're done. But they backtrack on it. Pretty sure that at the end of this arc, everything's hunky-dory.
Well, it would have to be.
It has to be.
Revenge of the Sith to happen.
Exactly. And so if anything, you turn a good lesson into something even worse.
Yeah.
Because now she's going back to somebody who mistreats her. And it's like, you know, she said no, but now she's going back on it. It's like, this is not behavior we want kids to model, right? Like,
please, help Clovis into the bedroom.
What do you say?
That the banks need new management, and that it could be you.
It's a good thing Padme didn't walk into her own bedroom while that conversation was going on.
How can we trust you?
I vow to be impartial and show no favor to either side in this war.
Okay, but how can we trust you?
But you have colluded with the Separatists.
It is the Separatist ties to Rush Clovis that has allowed them to accept this nomination.
I believe that in these dangerous times, the bank must be protected at all costs, and that a man who has no allegiance to either side is our best hope.
A resounding majority in support of the nomination.
That was a very short discussion.
What? Oh, we can depend on someone who has no allegiance to either side, except that he was allied to the Separatists in the past. Realistically, he would be voted out so fast.
He has ties to both sides. That's why this works. He has no allegiance to either side, so that's why this works.
This is so dumb.
Again, it
what the heck?
calls into question like how many people in the Senate are just Palpatine's goons, and all he has to do is say from his little podium like, yeah, I endorse this, and they know how they're supposed to vote.
We're still lacking a critical piece of information.
I can give you the location of the secret accounts you are searching for, so you can plead your case to the Senate.
The Mune government has seized the accounts and arrested the heads of the banking clan.
Now all that stands in your way is the Senate.
Padme doesn't question like how he still has the bruise on his face, right? Like no time has passed, and they were literally just talking like, oh, we're gonna have to like, you find out all these things, and then he just walks out, it's all on this disc. Okay, no questions asked. And it's like, how can we trust you? Well, I vow to be trustworthy. Oh, okay, you're good.
That makes me think of Ben-Hur. I can assure you, I am no oh, well, that settles it then. Pull up a chair, drink my wine.
You mock me. Of course I mock you! So jealousy is the path to chaos. Just means you're going to fall into an uncontrollable rage, and then your significant other is gonna say, I'm out. As always, TCW is a treasure.
Yes.
It's just something that warms my heart. Every time I watch it, I think to myself, why am I alive? The droids from Friend in Need. Why?
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 This show is awful, terrible, disgusting. See you next week, of course.